Welcome. Good afternoon to people who are joining, and welcome to our monthly webinar series. As usual, in the last few webinars that we are doing, we are focusing more on the AI and the role of AI in contact center and customer experience. And I'm sure this webinar we will dive deeper into the application of AI. But before that, let me explain what is the primary objective of this webinar. So far, our customers who are using the contact center, they by default get the 100 of the call recording, call logs are available. But traditionally, the QA has been listening to the call recordings and then providing the inputs to the call recordings and the input back to the agent in terms of scoring the agent and using those for training of the agent, right? So that has been the traditional way how QA was using the call recording. Today, we will find out how with the power of AI and machine learning, okay, the capabilities with the call recording, because these are data, I would say a huge amount of information or insights which remains untapped. Just by listening the call, that will not work. So with the power of AI and machine learning, how we are going to unlock this and get those actionable insights from all the customer interaction that happens in the contact center. That is the main objective, okay? With 100% call recording now available and the AI tool that can actually get into the detail of each and every single call and provide those insights, okay? This is the main objective of this webinar. And I'm sure with the depth that we will get into this webinar, it will be very interesting. Let's move to the next slide. So today, this webinar, I am Arijit, and I am from Czentrix, okay? And I have Raghavendra, who is leading the sales in MeHook, okay? We both of us will drive this webinar today. And I will just set out some agenda, okay? So first we will talk about the why, what, and how about the call interaction analytics, okay? Then we will get into the use case, the kind of impact it can bring to your business, followed by a short demo of the product. And then we will go to a customer use case where the customer has used the platform and what are the key benefits that the customers are deriving from it, and then followed with the Q&A. All of you can put your questions as we go along with the webinar. Just for the interest of time, we will take the questions at the end of the session. However, at any point of time, you can put up your questions. Okay. So let's get started. Raghavendra, you're all set. So I will request you to give us an insight about call interaction analytics. What is this?
Yep. Thank you, Arijit. Thank you so much for setting the context. Yeah, and happy to see this good number of supporters, believers, seekers, learners here. So let me tell you, we are trying to solve one of the oldest problems in the contact center space, the BPO space. A lot of transformation has happened in this space, but the core has remained relatively untouched. The core is the agent and customer interaction. And that has been a dark or a black box for quite some time, because you really don't know what's working in your call centers, what's going north, what's going south. So unless you choose to listen to the 100% of the call across all channels, be it chats or emails or voice conversations, a brand will never know what's working in their favor or what's working against you. So we broke this stereotype by bringing an AI tool which is homegrown. And I'll tell you what are the different components of this homegrown stack. Now, this can now seamlessly integrate with your contact center system and start digesting data from the your video channel, your chat channel, your voice, your mail channels, and give you actionable insights. Those insights which can directly help you improve the agent efficiency, help your QAs to transform from a traditional random sampling QAs into a new world AI-powered smart sampling QAs. Last one, you as a business owner, you get some near real-time business insights in the form of voice of the customers and those purpose of the calls. If actioned upon, these inputs, these insights are going to help you strengthen your business, define your product market fit. And this is what we are doing. And let's go to the next phase. Next. Yeah. This looks a bit engineering diagram. I'll break it very simple. There is the data which flows from the Sysentrix contact center system directly into the MeHub engine. It could be any data, voice, chat, and email, as I told you. Now, there are three components. Of course, there are many components. I mean, I'm keeping it very low and layman. You have the automatic speech recognition system, which is the primary to convert your voice into a text world. Then you need to make sense out of this, the NLPs, and of course, the analytics and the dashboard. These are some 3, 4, 5 components of the stack. Now, all are homegrown. Homegrown has its own advantage because this homegrown tool is custom made for industry. You are an insurance. Yes, we have a ready template insurance model. You are a banking delinquency management. You're a logistics. You're a wellness. You are an e-com. You're ready. So these models are very specific industry built templates. That's one. Of course, and what next when you have insights? All you got it efficient alert mechanism. How do you sound off different functional leaders, different functional teams on the key utterances, key occurrences in your conversations? There is alert mechanism, and there are hinting stuff. So end of the day, now you as an agent, you as a business should focus in establishing an emotional connect with the customer, and rest of those robotic things, repetitive things, hefty technical thing should be left to an AI engine. That's where the agents become smarter and better and efficient. And this is what we talk about. And finally, you know what we throw is classify the conversations. You as a brand, you are a business process, give us your expectation in the form of moments or the parameters. We kind of classify the conversations according to those parameters and show you how each of these parameters are being captured, and thereby you can measure them. And then there are key KPIs. We co-own it. We Sysentrix and the brand, we own it. Like simple things like identifying escalations. I'm going to talk about in the further slides also. Escalations are deep. It could be simple, non-threatening escalations, telling a TKR, I'm not happy. But there could be something, look, I'm not happy. I want to write about my thoughts in the social media. That's a social media escalation. There could be something like, look, I want to talk to your manager. Or the final one, with the most deadly one, which brands don't really want to be there in their conversation, which is illegal, which is of a great monetary impact for brands. That's something that everybody wants to monitor, and we do that. Of course, there are business process movements. Business process movements, when I say you are an insurance company, and there's an opportunity to renew the policy, but customer doesn't have the money this time. But did the agent really suggest the next best product? Or you are an e-com company. I wanted a blue color shoes, but that's not available. Did the agent put the effort in suggesting the next best product? So these are business process movements. I'm going to talk about this in case studies, and let me go to the next slide.
Yeah, excellent. So I think this slide has given us the insight about how these insights. We started with the actionable insights, and as we go further, we will see these actionable insights are so critical to the business. Okay. Here, this is more to give a wider spectrum about the customer interaction ecosystem. So Czentrix provides the contact center. We have Mio, which provides both the agent assist, which is from a live real-time agent assistant. And today we are talking about the Mio interaction analytics, which is more to do with the conversation and interaction analytics and getting those insights. And this is also integrated with our omni-channel pack solution so that it is just not over the call. Okay, today's customer is interacting with a brand through all possible channels, whether it is voice, video, chat, email, social media. So that's where the omni-channel suite comes in, and it is again integrated with the interaction analytics. So I will get into this next one. So here what we are talking about, how this build, what is the building block, okay? How does the entire thing plays out? The first is the contact center, which most of you are very well, either using our contact center very well, knows about it. So in this contact center, the actual action is happening over here, where the interactions are getting recorded, whether it's a call, whether it is a chat, the transcripts, everything is recorded over here. We have a seamless integration with the MIUB interaction analytics so that the keyword spotting that we were saying, where we are talking about the classification, other things, which is going to happen on the interaction analytics platform. From there are the rule engine, which will do all these things automatically. Once we have created the dashboard, right? The various parameters that the brand wants to monitor. Once this is done, then all these things are happening in auto mode. Okay, there's no manual intervention. Comes in, it gets automatically the rule engine kicks in, and it starts creating the various analysis. Okay, we will get into detail about what kind of analysis that this platform is going to provide. And once this analysis is given, you will also see that there's a QA form. So that means there's an embedded QA form. The call storing can automatically happen, and it can be overridden by the manual QA as well. Okay. And after this, audits are done, these audits can be also shared with the agents. They can see how they are performing. And the most important thing is this actionable reports, by which so I wanted to bring one thing here, that today from a organization perspective, I don't see that the top management is actually listening to the calls. Okay, so nobody is listening. What is the customer is speaking? Okay, what is their concerns? What is the things that we are looking forward to? So these are hidden into the recordings. Okay, but with these reports, the senior management in the organization can also view these reports and understand what is the kind of customer happiness, what kind of concerns they have, what kind of typical escalations are coming in my business. So the actual voice of customer with these dashboards can be utilized by senior management as well, and it is not just in the limitation of the contact center of head or the contact center manager. Okay, so that's the beauty of the complete insight that we are talking about. I think Raghavendra, you can help us get into a more detail with a presentation and a demo how this actually works out.
Yeah. So adding on to what Arijit mentioned, see, I'll tell you, today's whole quality process or the efficiency improvement process in a contact center conventionally has been a one function dependent, that is QA. So idea here is to bring multiple functions and multiple hierarchies into this whole process of building the efficiency. The core is the agent. We create a dashboard to the agent. Then there's a team leader, agent team leader. There's a quality, and there are people from the legal team and the business owners and the user department heads. Now, as Arijit said, any important utterance or the findings or the insights which are critical to the improvement of the efficiency are immediately flashed to everybody across. So me as an agent, I know I could have handled this call better and avoided an escalation had I shown a bit of empathy. Now, this intelligence is not available in the moment. It takes about T plus 2 days, T plus 3 days to get to the agent. What we do is, by presenting the insights to the agent, you're actually attacking the ground zero. The correction happens at the very moment. In spite of that actionables, there's a challenge in an agent's performance improvement. Then there is a learning challenge. There's a coaching challenge. So we want to make agent the core of the whole process of improving the efficiency. So that's what Arijit talks about, an infinite efficiency feedback loop. Let me go to the next slide. Yeah. So, of course, as I told you, we are very agnostic. We kind of handle multiple use cases in a ready template approach. But we started off with addressing the big challenge, how do you increase the revenues? And this started in the banking industry, especially in the insurance, lending, credit card. How do you empower, understand the gaps? Who is your top performer and who is your bottom performer, and why is a top performer at the top? And the biggest challenge in the sales has been that, when top performers leave the organization, their knowledge also goes away. With MeHawk, apart from monitoring the bottom performers, we are also extracting the intelligence from the top performer and now institutionalizing knowledge across the spectrum. So Origis is a top performer. Me as a system says that he has been scoring 10 on 10 because he has a lot of brownie points. He has a lot of empathy. His product knowledge is very crisp and clear. Now, me as a bottom performer, if I want to copy and emulate Origin, now with a MeHub system, you don't require a training team or a coaching team. If I'm a smart kid in the block, if I get the hint, I want to improve. More on this, click of a button, I can listen to that conversations where Origin has done good and I can learn the way. So this is what we've done in sales. Now, of course, as I told you, like, sales is not a dark art. It is a data-driven science. And I think MeHub tool has kind of seconded that opinion. Now we are kind of helping a lot of sales. And of course, the OpEx, biggest challenge, we in industry spend all our time, money and effort in just doing that hardly double digit, about 2 to 3% audit of the calls. Now with MeHub, with the same amount of QAs, with the same investment, we now help you unbox the rest of the 98%. And traditionally, last 20 years, 98% of your data was lying untouched in your treasury, data treasury. With MeHub, we have now brought the knowledge and the wisdom and the insights staying in those 98%. This is what I talk about OpEx. Auditing is easy. Training is now faster. Training is no more post facto. So train a bottom performer or a mediocre, you need not take a day off to train them. Training is in the moment, in the dashboard. So when you put all together, stitch it together, the OpEx story looks very interesting and attractive, and probably offline I can talk about some of the ROIs that we have worked with some of the large banks. And no compromise, the way the mandate and the statutory things are settling down on every industry, be it banking, insurance, e-com, logistics. Compliances are very important. And one of the things is, one of the large banks, large broking company, they wanted to ensure that escalations are taken care 100%. At the same time, when you're interacting with the customer, the personal information should be redacted both in the voice and in the text to the agent. And also monitoring that we, as an agent, stick to the compliances. And we've done it. People not asking. The moment somebody asks for a PAN card, somebody asks for a birthday, somebody asks for a CVV, all those are blocked. And this is what bank is liking them, especially because our model is homegrown. You don't have third parties. When you buy us, you get fully homegrown system. So that's one of the edge that we have, and that's where large banking brands are liking us. Of course, improve CX. Obviously, when you do these 1, 2, 3, 4 things, CX improves. When you're teaching your agents where to listen to the customer, how to cut down the rate of speech, how to stop the interjection, why should you interrupt a customer, how should you improve the product knowledge. When you are empowering the agent, when you're empowering the QA, the end result is better CX. I was talking to a customer who has been with us for last almost 2 years. They are India's leading point of sales and mobility brand. They had a big challenge. All their agents were fantastic. All their agents were fantastic. But there were some agents who were rated negative, saying that customer is not happy. We went and saw the escalations were because the endpoint last mile service delivery of replacing the point of sale machine, which was given to the third party, was not done efficiently. Now, when it was not done efficiently, the customers don't know who is there in between. All they know is the brand, and they come and yell at the agents. Now, a smart agent has to know how to exhibit empathy. And this is what we are trying to help agents, right? And in a very irritated situation, an agent exhibits a lot of empathy, has bigger ears, right? And could give a solution. This is what is going to help you from going to a court of law. This has happened. When agents don't handle it, most of those calls can land up in a legal escalation. And we are doing it for this. And I mean, this has been amazing journey for us and across. And of course, there are many such use cases and impact that we have brought in the industry. We can talk at length, one-on-one. Yeah, let me go to the next slide. Yeah, I mean, this is what I and Arijit have spoken. Auditing is faster. See, I mean, nothing. If auditing is not done, how will you vet and validate? So one of the things in auditing is like the way we help an agent improve in their efficiency, auditing also need to be monitored. How many auditings done, how many time spent, how many auditing comments done, how many active users daily, how many active quality users. And you also need to provide feedback to the QAs. So this is what is going to scale the auditing efficacy. I'm going to talk about it, how tool is going to further, helping you take the agile route in auditing. Yes, more than anything, I kind of love this component, voice of the customer. So there are customers who specifically say, I have brought a mobile phone, somehow my Bluetooth is not connecting. And if this is a recurring voice of the customer, purpose of the call, here it goes. It's a business insight for you. It's a product insight for you. Like the way I was talking about the point of sale machine. There, we thought agent could have done better, but we realized that at a particular time range, most of the escalations came from one particular city in India, and the voice of the customer was same, telling that you assured me in 3 hours you're going to replace my point of sale machine, and it has been 24 hours now, nobody has called me. Now, if this was the trending voice of the customer across the agent, then we were able to zero down there is something going wrong in the replacement. So these are the deep insights that we bring to you at a product level. Of course, performance, we've spoken, driving agent performance, quality audit performance, not just agents, the QA's performance, the trainer's performance, and the business leader's performance, everything could be monitored here because we're setting up a constant feedback loop. And every time the bar raises high, how did you perform after giving a feedback? And where are we? So end of the day, how do you bridge the gap between the bottom performer and the top performer? Because I believe if the same system has hired both the bottom and the top performers, and why there should a variance ever exist. So this is the challenge that we are taken to win, and we are kind of helping brands to bridge down this gap between the top and the bottom performers. Yeah, let me go to the next slide. Yeah, Orijit, you want to?
Yeah, so here we are actually highlighting the advantage of this integration. Okay. So first is that is a seamless integration. That means from the Sysentrix admin portal, you can straight away access the dashboard that we will go with the demo now. So that is a unified dashboard that we want to present, so that as a user, you have to move from one system to another system. There will be a single point of contact. So from a SLA management and all these things, so we can own this kind of a responsibility, and it does not become a challenge for customers, because most of the times when it gets integrated with third party, the SLA becomes a concern. And then both Sysentrix and Mihop both are very much focused on the innovation side, and that is where it becomes so exciting that we are understanding what is the need in terms of market requirement, the customer requirement, and the technology innovation. And we are continuously challenging each other in terms of bringing those innovations together. So these, I would say, is a nutshell on what are the advantages that we see. And definitely, as we go along, there will be more advantages that will come up.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
MeHub, from our startup to scale up journey, when we went solo, what we realized that go to live, while customers took a decision to go with MeHub, but go live used to take about 2 to 3 months, even with the 100% preparedness on the MeHub side, because the dependency was on the heterogeneous system, multiple systems. And when MeHub shook hands with Sysentrix and we came as a co-owners or co-creators, I'm telling you, I think with I mean, such a proud thing for me to tell that, we are industry's fastest go live partners. That means it's all natively integrated, single sign on. We don't take extra real estate on the dashboard. You want a single dashboard on a Sysentrix dashboard, there's a small click of a button, you will see MeHub. And both the systems are tailored at a dashboard level, at a disposition level, at a parameter level. At every level in the stack, we are aligned. This makes the whole partnership very agile, very efficient, and fastest.
Yeah.
Okay. I will quickly take you through a small demo of how the MeHub Sysentrix dashboard would look like. This is an executive dashboard. It's just, depending on what kind of industry you are, you can pick and choose the filters and tabs that you want. There are brands who say, I only want to monitor AHTs. There's somebody who says, I want to monitor escalations. All of them are here in a single view. This we call it as an executive dashboard, right? Yeah, this brand wanted to look at ZTPs. And of course, then there are customer sentiments, some critical escalations, what you see here. Yeah, this is an let me pause here, right? Let me pause here. Yeah, I'll pause it here. Yeah. Sorry, bear with me. Yeah. Now you look at it. This is a brand, very clear, respecting the customers was top of their priorities. Of course, along with greeting, branding, empathy, they also wanted to ensure that agents don't interject. And if customer is interjecting, there should be something, there's another reason for it, but they wanted to monitor interjection. The other thing is empathy. When something is not going correct in the interjection space and in the empathy space, the end result is escalation. End result is escalation. So let me go to the next part. Now that you have all the critical parameters, you as a brand might have 80 to 100 different parameters and about 10 to 20 different KPIs. So now let me show you how do we zero in and vet and validate what was the escalation, how many escalations happened. So you can, I'll tell you, let's proceed now. Let me play it. Yeah, escalations. There you go. There are 2,945 escalations in this particular call, in this particular batch. Yeah, 2,945. Then we go to the interaction tab. Yeah. Now what happens here? This is an interesting space. Total calls, these many. Now I want to zero down on those calls which were escalations and apology. So these were two indicators for us. I'll tell you how we filter it out. There you see, we go. I go and search for legal escalations. There are 2,207 legal escalations, very specific. That's the subsegment of escalation. And I also want to go and, there you're setting the filters. Now you pick one of those calls from the 2,207. I pick one of those calls. Now this particular call could be 25 minutes. Now you as an auditor doesn't make sense. Traditionally we used to listen to this entire 25 minutes. Now with the MeHub's assisted, AI assisted QA audit, you exactly go to the 3 seconds where the escalation happened. And the system will assist you to go to that. All you set the filters and now you arrive. You will see now we have set all possible filters. On the left side are the filters for the parameters. On the top, you see the audio graph. So I am choosing legal escalations. There you go. I toggle the tab. Yeah, here it is. Look at it. Maafi chahta hoon. Agent says. He talks about complaint. He talks about SEBI. SEBI ko complaint kar dunga. Now imagine if this customer is unattended or attended after the impact happens. And look at a price that a brand has to pay. So with MeHub, what we do is under 4 to 5 hours, for example, assume that this particular conversation happens at morning 10 o'clock, and by 1 or 2 o'clock max, the functional leaders will get an alert telling that there was a SEBI escalation happening. And I've seen brands, they immediately look up to the CRM, they do a lead level analysis. How many times did this customer call? And in all this call, what was the rate of speech? What was the negative sentiment? What was the voice of the customer? And you come to know what would be the next logical step of the customer. Are they really going to go to SEBI? They're going to slap a court case on me. All this can be just. So interesting thing, there's this brand, a very large broking company in India. We set out our journey in identifying all this escalation. After about 3 months of understanding the early warning signs of escalations, we, with a greater accuracy, were able to tell in the very first call that this customer is likely to become a legal escalation, because we knew the rate of interjection, the nature of utterances, the silences from the agent, no rebuttal from the agent, then the CRM lookup. We were able to, with a greater amount of benefit of doubt, even before that impact happens, we are like early warning sign for the impending tsunami. Yeah, we'll proceed now. So this is what. Yeah, we'll go to the next slide and yeah. So sorry, bear with me. Sorry. I will maneuver this. Yeah.
Do you want me to help you with the slide?
No, that's okay. Thanks. Cool. Yeah, this will stick onto this slide. Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, see, this is an amazing case where there are 5,000 agents, and you can imagine the chaos, the complexities, and the stress the entire team is goes through in terms of improving the performance. Uh, Obviously, when it's such a competitive market, the only way to do is put more QAs into the job and try to burn the midnight oil. And after MIHA, we could in the first 6 months show them 10% overall increase in the efficiency. Efficiency for me are two areas: training efficiency and auditing efficiency. Very specific. Obviously, when the AHTs, we were able to handle it by giving the feedback to the agent on their dashboard, telling that, your transfer time is high, your hold time is high, those kind of stuff, and cross-sell opportunities. We told wherever the call, there was a cross-sell missed. We were kind of sending this report to the agent and the QAs and the team leaders, and that's how we were able. So the multiple areas we kind of helped them. Now this brand has now moved on to, after 6 months of usage, they are now brought in real-time agent assist, which is another solution. See, post-call interaction is where we do the analysis after the call has happened. That itself has given such a high efficiency, such a great optimization, an amazing ROI. Now they have gone to the next level, telling that they want to handle the things at a ground zero, in the moment. And the solution for it, a real-time agent assist, which is listening to the calls, conversation between the agent and the customer, and being like a co-pilot, helping the agent to handle the call with greater amount of specificity and confidence and efficacy. So this is that. So amazing growth story there. And I'm loving the way we are transformed in the last 2.5, 3 years. And in fact, we have over 60 clients, and jointly with Syzentrix, we are having engagement with some of the top 10 large brands in India. I'm sure the next webinar, we should be able to showcase you those success stories. What is it? Over to you.
Raghavendra, would you also take other use case apart from sales? Can you also take a service use case?
Yes. I mean,
Customer
interesting.
service, yeah.
I'm going to talk about this life insurance company. Very interesting use case. And especially in the time zone where we are, all the Jan, February, March is when renewals. So there's a team in the life insurance brand which is handling the retention and policy renewals, and there's also a team which is handling customer service. But let me talk about retention. There we were able to understand the reason for refusal to pay or refusal to renewal or promise to renewal. What happens after 30 days? What happens after 60 days? What happens after 90 days? And we were able to help them from our findings that there are customers, they are indeed unhappy because the product or the insurance was mis-sold, right? People committed too much. And end of the day, when they went to claim their policy, that was not there. And this was one of the reasons where brands didn't want to come and renew it. This information was given and that was actioned upon. And there are other cases where genuinely a customer said, I don't have the affordability for an 18,000 premium annually this year. I have a brand which is giving me at 15,000. And there the agent kicked in by suggesting the next best product, showing utmost empathy, understanding whatever discounts could be given, retaining this customer. This is one use case, an amazing use case. Apart from that, I spoke about the point of sale machines company, and they were so confident about their agents. In fact, they are very good agents. Sometimes your agent performance or the customer sentiment is still down for reasons outside your circle of control. In this case, the bad experience or an inferior experience or not so good experience was due to the in-between third-party outsourcing company, which never stuck onto the SLAs. And with our findings, we were able to tell the brand, look, this set of customers calling from this particular city in India are telling that their average SLA time has exceeded by 18 hours. And they're all telling that koi nahi aaya badalne ko. Nobody has come to replace it. And with our insight, that particular service brand or the partner in that particular city was replaced. This is all because based on the purpose of the call. Sentiment, obviously, when you get into the data science level, you start looking at the scores at every level. I can talk about it because it's a very short period, but all these decisions are made at a parameter level. What was the score given by Neha? Right? And this is one amazing use case. Of course, there are a lot of them. And one more last interesting case. This is a very, very well-known fashion accessories brand focusing on tier 2 and tier 3 cities and the customers there. Mostly females in the age of 18 to 30 years. What they told me when I met them, their customer base is so loyal. They don't look at anybody else. And that's how the tier 2 and tier 3 city loyalty is. But their concern is customers are calling 3 times or 4 times. Their FCR was a crazy thing. Resolution times were like 4 calls. And these were all customer service. So after we got in, what we realized that some of these calls could have resolved in 1 or 2 max. Why is it taking to 4? Imagine the day a competition comes in, all of this customer base will switch over to them if you don't deliver the. So then we realized that agents need not just tell them what is happening, they also need to suggest them. So with our help, they were able to now build a lookup table where agents will now look up there and tell the agent customers that, look, this is the next best product. You buy it, it will come in next 2 days. And there was a lot of empathy, lot of branding and opening, closing, proper closings were taken care. So and now we see that from what used to be around 3.5, 4, we have brought it under 2 calls in terms of FCR. Yeah, Arijit, these are some interesting cases.
Thank you, Raghavendra. Actually, we have exceeded our time. I see there are a couple of questions also. So would you like to take it up?
Yeah, how we'll add such filter in the example if you want to create filters where client is asking agents to, yeah, fantastic. There is a question which talks about how do you set filters? The one I'm talking about, SEBI escalation, RBI escalation. Now, one is, this is the combination of our ASR. In the special text, we do something. Second, the NLP kicks in. So 90% of the job is done. Now, next thing is, what do you really want to identify? In the system, we give heavy weightage for these kind of escalations, then they are figured out, and you need not set a filter. Sometimes there are certain escalations you don't know, but you still want to figure out all these escalation kind of a calls. They are straight away notified to the key decision makers through an email or a WhatsApp. So we have Sysentrix CPaaS platform, which is stuck to us. We can push a notification either on WhatsApp, either on email, either on to your dashboard, telling that there's an escalation which happened. So that you are trying to handle the situation in almost near real time.
Right.
And
these filters are basically when we create the dashboard, during the dashboard creation, we will decide what kind of filters are required for your process. And those filters will be created on the dashboard itself. So when you actually want to, for example, when we see the demo of the dashboard, we saw that there is the executive dashboard where you have the social escalation, legal escalations, and then there's a drill down on that. If we click on that, it will go straight away on the escalation calls, and then you can further filter and narrow down on the place where the escalation is mentioned and the call snippet is available. You can play the call snippet also to verify that, right? So there is another question that how system will recognize that escalation is required on this call.
Okay, recognition that escalation is okay. If I understand that question, how will the system recognize it? Yes, this is what a homegrown system does. See, our experience of having digested so many calls, we have already the corner, a database of all possible escalations or escalation sounding utterances across industries. Over 80% of those scenarios or words which are already readily available on our system, they come into play. Let me set an example. Let me say it is a broking account and customer need not really mention SEBI, but they can say, ठीक है, हम आपको देख लेंगे. Now look at it, the sentiment, the emotion, right? The meaning extraction. Now you combine that with your previous 2 or 3 calls from the same customer with a greater amount of accuracy. We say that this could be a churn. With the nature of problem, it can be an escalation. So that's how we zero it down. Not necessarily that the particular word has to be mentioned. That's the
Another thing is, if I understand here, is the intent extraction, okay,
intent.
which is
Absolutely.
part of the when the NLP does that, then the intent extraction is from the machine learning model, okay. So that will be able to recognize that this is the place where the escalation is recognized in this conversation. So that's that's where the AI engine or the machine learning model actually does the heavy lifting.
Yeah, there's an interesting question Sanjeev asked. Does this mean we don't require QA? Now, absolutely. I would say no. There is no man and machine friction here. Our core philosophy is to make the human efforts better. I would rather say you will do more with the same QA rather than removing them. So QA is still the human in the loop. They also will be there to do some actionables, but I wouldn't really suggest. You need QS, you need QS. But instead of doing 2%, same QS will do 100% now.
Right.
And there is
that's about efficiency.
I think there was a hand raised by Neha. I'm not sure. I don't see it. Yeah, Neha, I mean, I missed that. Yes. Haji sir, Sanjeev ji, hope I answered your questions. But of course, offline, I'll tell you, there's a brand who wants to replace their QAs, and that's the mandate. This system can still do that.
Yeah. Any other question? Backend team, do you have any other question that you have received? Okay, I think there is one more. Okay. Can we get a live demo and how? Yeah. So, Mr. Mohit, you are definitely all of you will get the live demo on demand. So please feel to connect with us. Okay. I do not know how to put my email ID over here, but the invite that you have got the contact of Czentrix. So you can just ping us. Okay. Our team will connect with you immediately and set up a demo, which will be definitely very deeper demo. In the webinar, we cannot do all this demo in that detail. So please feel free to suggest a time slot when we can provide your demo on this. And this is not only for Mohit, all of you who have been here should be of if it is of your interest. And I'm sure at least you should take a look at the full demo, because that will give a very detailed perspective of the entire solution. And in multiple ways, this solution is benefiting the organization, as we started with, because somewhere it was perceived that it is a replacement of a QA. Okay. But then as we see that brands started using it, it is a actionable insights, okay, which is not limited to a QA or a contact center manager, but it is overall helping the entire organization, whether it is the product head, or whether it is the legal team, or whether it is the logistic team, or even it with the CEO of the company, right? So it goes on to the topmost level, this actionable insights, because this is the voice of the customer and everybody is very, very interested. What is the customer's view about our product and services?
Yeah.
So how this is priced, interaction based. So there's a license fee for this, okay? So for the solution, it's a monthly in like any other SaaS platform. There's a license fee associated with this, on a per agent basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess we are already 20 minutes over our session.
Wow.
Thank you, a lot to all of you who have spent your valuable time in attending this webinar.
Yeah.
And thanks, Raghavendra, for the detailed explanation that you have given with the customer examples. I think it will be very helpful. And let's look forward for a detailed demo of this product.
Yep.
If there is any no other questions, then we can close this session.
Yeah. Thank you so much, all. Stay cool. I think most of India is hitting 40 plus. Whoever is under 40s, you are lucky people. Enjoy the day. Who are in my zone like 40, like me and Orijit, stay cool and stay safe.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.